A better route. Chapter 125. The war was now only a few days away, and everyone in the Hidden Leaf had to leave tomorrow. That meant they were all forced to wrap up their training today, which no one was happy about. However, quite possibly the most upset was one particular child of a Sannin. Oh my gosh, I'm so pissed at myself right now. Guy and Lee couldn't believe what they were hearing, as they knew why she was so angry with herself. Lee tried to reason with her. Mito, you managed to learn how to open almost 7 gates, why on earth are you upset? Mito wasn't satisfied with that. Yeah, but I haven't opened the 7th gate yet. Sure, I could probably do it if I really needed to on the battlefield, but this gonna make it way harder to open the 8th gate if I really need to. Guy countered, if you activate the 8th gate there's no guarantee you'll survive, even with your healing techniques. You really shouldn't activate it unless you have to. Mito rolled her eyes. First, you highly underestimate just how powerful my mom's healing jutsus really are, and second, if they revive as many powerful ninjas as we think they're going to, then I'm not going to take chances. I've got some really crazy ideas in my head, and I think a couple of them might even work. When the shit hits the fan, I'm going to be a force to be reckoned with. Guy couldn't keep himself from smiling. Yash, Lady Mito, your confidence is truly inspiring. I'm certain you will be one of our most powerful weapons on the battlefield. Mito grinned, you got that right. Now if you'll excuse me, I promised Kiba-kun that I'd walk Soku with him and Akamaru. Over on another training ground, Rin was busy going over some of the last-minute preparations for the war. So you want Temari to lead the 2nd division? Obito looked over the 4 eye transplanters who were sparring once again as, that's who Shikaka said would be the best choice and I trust him. He saw that Kakashi had just sent a Amaterasu spear at Itachi, who covered himself with a Susanoo ribcage. Then he called to his son, you're relying a little too much on your Amaterasu, Kakashi, try using some snake-based jutsus. Kakashi nodded, if you say so, Dad. Rin watched as Kakashi used his shadow snake hands and tried to snag Konan. So where do you want Naruto and the other Jinchurikis to be? Kakashi caught Konan, but soon found out it was nothing but a paper clone with some paper bombs attached. Obito sighed as it exploded. Come on Kakashi, you know better than to fall for that. I think it'd be best if they were kept in the middle of one of the Devisons. They shouldn't be on the front lines because that would be too risky, but we don't want them too far back because they're too strong not to use. Rin wrote that down as Sasuke sent one of his Susanoo arrows at Itachi. Okay, so who all were you thinking should be going after Orochimaru? Itachi tried to jump out of the way because he didn't think he could defend against that but was still blown back by the blast. Obito called to Sasuke, that was a little bit much Sasuke, we're just sparring. Actually, I think Kakashi, Anko, and Kabuto would be the best choice for that. Anko and Kabuto know Orochimaru's style better than anyone and Kakashi's even better with the snake style than he is. Itachi launched a fireball at Sasuke who countered with a fireball of his own. Rin was rather impressed by the explosion they made when they collided. I guess if anyone could take that snake out again it would be those guys. Wait, isn't Kabuto still on a very strict probation? Obito looked away from the fight to give his wife a funny look. We're in a war right now, sweetie. I really don't care if he is on probation. Rin felt a little embarrassed. Good point. Oh, nice shot. Obito looked back at the fight to see what she was talking about and saw Konan had summoned a large lizard that had Kakashi wrapped up with its tongue. Kakashi took out a kunai and stabbed the tongue, causing it to drop him. He didn't waste any time and slammed his hand on the ground, causing a massive wooden stake to rise from the ground and stab that lizard, causing it poof away. Obito praised, good counter Kakashi. Anything else Rin-chan? Rin said as she watched Konan grow out a 3rd arm that seemed to be some kind of machine. Just one question, where are you going to be during all of this? Konan's arm opened up and dozens of small rocket-like things fired out and at Kakashi. Obito told his wife, I'm going after Madara with my fellow Kages of course. We've gotta make sure he doesn't get to our main force and wipe it out. Kakashi had surrounded himself with roots so that then the rockets hit he wasn't completely wiped out. At that point Obito felt it was time to end it. Alright people, why don't we stop for today? You've been training for a while now and I want to make sure you guys get some rest before we have to go. Kakashi heard that and immediately ran up to his girlfriend. When in the hell did you learn how to do that thing with your arm, Konan-chan? Konan realized that was the first time she's used that in front of them. It's one of the powers the Rinnegan gives me. I have the ability to summon mechanized armor, combining my body with extra limbs and various mechanical weaponry. Kakashi simplified it, so you can create machines from your body? Konan shrugged, basically yeah. Itachi walked over to his uncle. So what do you think about our progress with the Susanoo? Obito never got used to how formal Itachi always was. You've done pretty damn well as far as I'm concerned. I think everyone in this training area would be considered an S-ranked ninja at this point. Sasuke felt awesome at hearing that. Man, between Naruto, Fu, us, Mito, and Tsunade, we must have like the most badass village out there. Obito chuckled at that and was about to respond when Rin whispered to him, "We need to talk real quick, sweetie." Obito walked just out of the group's hearing range and asked, "Something wrong, Rin-chan?" Rin got kind of serious. "Obito-kun, I know the real reason you wanted to name Naruto as your successor. You think there's a real chance you could die before this war is over." Obito cringed. "Rin-chan, I just didn't want you to worry." Rin stopped him. "I know that, and I'm not mad at you. You just don't want me to think about losing you, and I totally get that. However, I feel like you haven't thought about the fact that I'm going to be out on that battlefield too." Obito had thought about that, yes, but you can take care of yourself and you're mostly gonna be towards the back healing people. You won't be in the thick of things too much. Rin put a hand on his cheek. "That doesn't mean I couldn't die out there, Obito-kun. I need to know that if either one of us dies we'll still be able to live our lives. I don't want you turning towards despair because of me." Obito kissed her gently. "If I lose you it will nearly kill me, but I promise I'll do everything I can to continue my life if I do. Because I know that's what you'd want me to do. I love you, Rin-chan." Rin kissed him back. "I love you too, Obito-kun." Madara stood next to Tuhiya and Zetsu as he looked over the fruits of his team's labors. He first went and talked to White Zetsu, "So you'll be connected to the Gedo statue and create an army to fight off shinobi. Think you can handle that?" White Zetsu nodded. "Sure thing, boss man." Then he turned to Tuhiya. "You've done very well. Tuhiya, please tell me about the paths. I recognize a couple of them but most of them are new to me." Tuhiya walked over and stood next to an old man who appeared to be his first path. "This is Bunpuku, an old priest who used to be Shikaku's Jinchuriki. I'm told he was quite skilled with the sand manipulation." Madara slightly remember hearing about him back in his day. "Yes, I'm assuming you gave him Shikaku." Tuhiya walked away from him and to a person with face paint. "Who else would I give him? Anyways, this is Fukai, the Jinchuriki of Gyuki before B. I gave him the 2 tails since it used to be in the hidden cloud. The 3 tails of course went to Yuguru and the 6 tails went to Utakata. Now I'm guessing you know who this woman is." Madara looked at the woman's long red hair and diamond in her forehead. "Mito Senju Uzumaki, the wife of the first Hokage. A risky choice, don't you think?" Tuhiya wasn't nervous. "Even if she is an Uzumaki, I don't think she'll be able to break control from the Rinnegan's control." Madara hoped she was right. Mito Senju Uzumaki had been feared back in her day for a very good reason, so she got the 4-tailed monkey? Tuhiya walked back next to him. "Exactly. We did have one other person we couldn't use if we hadn't had one of them, but I think she's better suited to be out on the battlefield. Particularly against one of the last Jinchurikis. Zetsu, would you please show him who I mean?" Zetsu brought them to another coffin. "My pleasure. Sir, I believe you remember me telling about this woman when you had me looking into Obito. Her son took her place after she died." Madara saw who it was and grinned evilly. "Oh my, Tuhiya, this is just downright awful. I love it." Madara and Zetsu walked away chuckling to themselves and Tuhiya looked in the coffin. "Prepare to see your son once more, Kushina Namikaze Uzumaki. See you in the next one."